Today I visit with Phoenix Skaggs from Otterville, Missouri. I'm Rick J, and this is Spotlight on the Arts. Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. Coming to you today from the Lamey's Building in Sedalia, Missouri. If you would please join me in welcoming Phoenix Skaggs from Otterville, Missouri, a young artist being recognized honorably on certain occasions. I'm really anxious and happy to share her story with you today. Well, I want to say welcome, Phoenix. Thank you. Well, this is your first visit here on Spotlight on the Arts. I've been looking forward to our interview for some time now, after becoming interested in your artwork and after hearing about various awards that you've received, have won at your young age as an artist. So I'm always anxious to interview someone on the start of their career, of their passion for art, shall we say. I'm always happy to introduce new artists, especially one of the younger age, and has a lifetime ahead of them in the field of art, what have you. So, Phoenix, if I may get your permission to call you by Phoenix. It's okay, great. Please first share with the viewers a little bit about Phoenix Skaggs, if you would.
So as you already know, my name is Phoenix Skaggs. I am both a traditional and digital artist. I love to draw, paint, and illustrate. I was born and raised here in Missouri throughout my entire life, and I really love it here. I've met a lot of cool people who have supported me both in my growth and time as an artist and as a person, and especially my parents, my family, and friends. They've always been here to support me and motivate me to push towards my goals.
Well, excellent. Now, you're from Otterville. That's a small town not far from Sedalia. And you went to high school, grade school there, and elementary, and picked up friends as you went?
Yeah.
But your fellow friends and stuff became interested in your art at some point.
Yes.
Well, Phoenix, can you share with us how you became inspired to become an artist?
It's always been there. I've just always had this huge passion for art and drawing. And I remember when I was little, I would show my drawings to my family, my parents, and they would get so excited and hang them up on the fridge. And I think that's when my art for love really started to grow. And I started to realize that I could make others happy with my art, and that's a huge part of what inspired me to become an artist.
Oh, great. Now, again, I spoke of the bedroom wall, but yeah, we seem to have a passion for what we do. I always say it's kind of maybe in the DNA. You know, we go clear back to the days of, if you will think about it, the days of the caveman. You know, the caveman said, why don't you guys go out there and get something, hunt something for supper or dinner, and I'll just write it on the wall here. So maybe that gentleman had a little bit of DNA in the caveman days, if you can relate to that. I think it's really in our DNA somewhat. Well, what continues you to your passion? What continues down the road?
Yeah, so a major part of what still inspires me to be an artist is the ability to make people happy and feel things with my art. And I love to make people question things like, wow, I really like this piece. I wonder what this part means. I really like to just make them think and question things, and maybe they can find inspiration from my art or from behind it.
You're right on track, and keep that in your heart and in your work, if you will. Well, you've received awards. Can you share a little bit about the awards, honors that you've received at such a young age?
Yes, so Actually, some of my biggest awards and acknowledgments, I've won the Casey Art Contest 3 years in a row, both at my art shows at my school and at Liberty Park. And actually, during my 3rd year of winning at Liberty Park, I won 1st place. I actually got into the Otterville newspaper for it. And for me, that was a big deal because I've never been in a newspaper before or anything like that. And I also won honorable mentions from them.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So you've really got a good taste of the awards. What, not only the awards is kind of sealing the deal or reaching a level, you know, of being acknowledged for your art. The first time I sold one, I finally felt like I reached a level that finally recognized him. But that's still good when they love your art and talk about it and fall in love with it. So that's great. So congratulations on those awards.
Thank you.
Well, before time gets away from us, can you give us your contact information if someone wants maybe to reach out to you for more information or maybe even do a commission work? If you give us that information.
So my email address is all lowercase, noahskaggs6@gmail.com, and my phone number is 660-281-7742 with text as the much preferred method of communication.
Super, super. We'll get that up on the timeline for sure. Well, Phoenix, we have to take a break, so please make yourself comfortable while we look at a couple special messages. After the break, Phoenix will fill us in on her favorite medium, subject matter, a look at a couple favorites and the story behind them. So her special way maybe of completing a project, a special technique that maybe she has that she'd like to share with you. So if you would, stay with us. We'll be right back. There's so much more here on Spotlight on the Arts. Welcome back, everyone, to Spotlight on the Arts. I continue my discussion and chat with Phoenix Skaggs, a young artist from the state of Missouri. So, well, Phoenix, before the break, we shared a lot of information, and so let's continue along those lines of thought and expression. Please describe your favorite medium that you like to work with.
Okay, so I actually have a lot of favorite mediums that I like to work with. One of them being oil pastels. I just love how soft they are. I love how fun they are to blend with and work with. And I love the feeling of getting my hands dirty. And and I still have a lot to learn about it, and I don't use it a lot in my art, but I plan to a lot more in the future. And it's definitely one of my top favorite medias to work with, along with alcohol markers, inks, charcoals, and acrylics.
Acrylics, I see. Well, if I may ask, Phoenix, what's your favorite subject matter if you were to choose one?
So I actually can't choose a specific favorite subject matter that I like to work with, because I love to work with a lot of different subjects. But one of my favorites being mythology, specifically Greek mythology, mythological creatures. I like to draw creatures from shows, movies, fictional characters, aliens, dragons, demons, angels, aliens, trippy stuff like that.
Well, and those are not easy to draw or paint. What have you? There's a lot of detail in those. Now, I also have a photo I'd like to share. You like to put together your own Halloween costume, and we've got a good shot of that. Tell us about that. Is that a mythology creature type?
So that mask was actually inspired by an Oni demon from Japanese folklore. And I made it for a Halloween costume with some family friends of mine, and the theme was masquerade. So I kind of made like a masquerade inspired.
So
Oni
it's like a
demon mask.
masquerade of the old times, the old readings, but in modern time like a demon look.
Yes.
It's very well done. I was really impressed by that. Well, you have other works here that we would like to share. Would you like to talk about them?
Sure. So this one is actually one of my recent ones. It's the sandworm from Beetlejuice. It's mixed media. I use mostly ink and colored pencils for it.
And do we have a name for that one?
No, it's
just something created.
Yeah.
A creation.
And this one was actually Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is another one of my most recent ones. It's also mixed media. I use inks and colored pencils and acrylics for it.
That's ink and a colored pencil.
Yes.
And acrylic. My, beautiful.
Thank you.
So its detail stands out. Quite a creature there. Yes.
And this one also doesn't have a name for it, but I made it in my art school.
I see.
Yeah, in art class.
And what school are you attending now? We didn't talk about that.
Otterville.
Otterville?
Yeah.
Okay. High school? Yes, okay.
Yes. And this one is one I made on my own. I looked up a reference from Pinterest, which is a tool that I like to use for a lot of inspiration for my art. And this was actually, I don't use charcoal a lot, and I use my best knowledge to make this.
Excellent. Looks like an old black and white that when I started out with a camera, everything was black and white. So very well done.
Thank you.
Impressive art, as I shared with you before. Now we're getting to share a little bit. Now this piece on the fireplace, this is well done. Can you talk about that? Is that one of your favorites?
It's one of them. I actually made it in my school. It was for an art project. We were doing grid drawings, and I actually worked on it in school and at home. I use all colored pencils for it.
Oh, I see. Very well done. Beautiful. How you get so much out of the colored pencils. My, that's great. This will be a great shot, a great piece for my Call for Nature's Art exhibit. Actually, it's going on right now until January 4th in Jefferson City at the Runge Conservation Nature Center. Phoenix being interviewed is now invited officially to be part of the next show next year and the next year whenever she feels like being a part of that exhibit. So if you all get a chance to see this 2025 exhibit, please join us before January 3rd or on January 3rd. And next year I hope to see you taking part in that. We have a lot of the top artists of Missouri that take part in that. So even if you can get a trip to Jeff City and view that, you'll be rubbing elbows with some of the greatest from Missouri and et cetera. So is there a certain process that you use completing a project? Like, do you have a mental vision beforehand, and do you do a couple sketches beforehand before you begin the pencil work or the ink, whatever?
Yeah, so I actually had different processes depending on the type of media that I'm working with. First I come up with an idea, I brainstorm it on paper, I write down all my ideas, and then I start on the thumbnail sketches.
Yes.
And I do those on paper, and I start coming up with the basic idea of what I want to do for a project or a drawing. And then I move that thumbnail either on paper or whatever media or material I'm working with, and then or move it onto the screen depending on whether I'm doing traditional or digital art. And then I start going in and doing the actual drawing, and I use Krita for my digital art, which is a free drawing software.
Yes, excellent. My, that it sounds so professional. You know, doing this show, I have to work this show up on the editing, doing the digital, whatever. So where did you pick up these skills? Is that something natural, or in school did they share with you how to set up a pre-drawing?
Yeah, so it's actually a skill both combined, like from my school, and also I'm self-taught over the years.
Wow. Well, you're on the right track, I'd say. That's great. So you have to have a kind of an idea and a plan. You have to develop this somehow. That's great. Well, do you have any projects you're working on now or coming up with in the future that you might want to? Do you have one for the State Fair example? For example, you might enter, or maybe again the Liberty Center?
Yeah, so recently I've actually been doing custom greeting cards for people, and I've been doing holiday greeting cards for Christmas recently, and pretty soon I'm going to start doing Valentine's Day custom greeting cards here starting on January 1st. And I have a whole bunch of items in my room that I've been meaning to paint, like skateboards and hand saws, for example.
Oh, I see, hand saws.
Yeah, and I've also been wanting to start making more Halloween masks.
Oh, well, those would be great to share, I guess. Now, I guess you sell your greeting cards. Do you want to let people know again where they can contact you to look at those online? Or to buy, for that matter, I guess.
Yes, so I already said my phone number is 660-281-7742, and you can just text me, and I'll contact you, and we can talk about everything. It's for a double-sided card is $10, and for a single-sided card is $7, and it's entirely customizable.
All customized based on what they would like, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, so do you have like an Instagram or something where you post these examples?
I do not have Instagram.
Okay, and that's probably a good thing. Those get really in depth, you know. So that's great. I think we've covered that good then. Well, do you have any closing words you'd like to pass on to viewers, especially other young people, inspiration, you might say, or even an artist that is older that has maybe hit a lull in their artwork? Maybe you can inspire someone.
Yes, so this is for both the beginner artists and experienced artists out there. Don't stress yourself out. It's okay. Experiment with different medias and techniques, since you never know if you're going to find something that you enjoy working with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, I guess I want to thank you once again then for contributing Spotlight on the Arts. It goes so fast, it seems like. It's been really inspiring to hear from you on a younger person level. It's been informational and educational experience, I'm sure, for everyone. So thank you again, Phoenix, for spending time today, and look forward to getting you out there in the world on Spotlight on the Arts.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here today, Rick.
Thank you again. Very good. Well, that wraps up another look, this time at a young, aspiring artist here on Spotlight on the Arts. I want to thank Father Bobby Skaggs for making this interview possible, and you viewers for joining us here today. I want to also thank Cameron Sound Man and Drew Williams for assisting me today. And a special thanks to the Lamies building here in the Sedalia, Missouri area. The old jean factory where they used to make the Levi jeans since 1939. And if you get to the Lamies building, please do. They have a restaurant, a record shop that we film in here called Josie's Records. And they have really a delicatessen shop where you can buy different meats and cheeses and canned goods. So it's worth the trip to Sedalia just to stop in at the old jean factory in Sedalia called Lamies Building. So I want to thank everyone once again. I leave you with wishes to stay healthy and safe. I'm Rick J. See you next time.